Hi everyone. Today I'm going to go over the similarities between developing an Alexa skill and developing a web application. My name is Pan Wangpurwong and I am an Alexa developer advocate. You can follow me on Twitter at itspanw. So the big motivation for this video is I want to share my experiences coming from a web development background to developing Alexa skills. Because during my learning process, I saw a lot of similarities and parallels between the web and voice paradigms that I love to share with you and help you get started with developing an Alexa skill. But you might be wondering, what are some benefits to developing an Alexa skill? Well, if you extend your web application to Alexa and build for Alexa, you're expanding your reach to over 110 million Alexa-enabled devices around the world. That could mean a lot of new users for you. So let's get started and check out what are the parallels between web and voice paradigm. To start off with, let's first talk about the web application, which is accessible through a web browser. And then that web browser then renders a web page that has elements and structure provided to it through HTML. And CSS could be applied to provide it with personality and styles as well. And JavaScript could be used for logic. Together, they make up the graphical user interface, or the GUI, and they could be connected to a backend. For an Alexa skill, there are similar concepts such as the echo, speech, sound effects, which makes up the voice user interface, or the VUI. So to formalize it a bit, and here are the technical terminologies for it, and what we'll be going over for the rest of the talk. So if you're not familiar with echo devices, here are some examples. This is how users can interact with an Alexa skill, similarly to how a user can access a web application through a browser. For web apps, HTML adds elements and provides structure to a web page. For Alexa skills, the elements and structure are provided by the speech that is exchanged between Alexa and the user. Specifically, the speech portion is designed through the interaction model. And the interaction model consists of 4 parts: the invocation name, utterances, slots, and intents. And we'll be going through each one of those. So let's start with the invocation name. The invocation name in this example is Dynamic Heroes. And that is how Alexa identifies this specific custom skill. And it's very similar to the idea of a domain name. But when you combine the invocation name with the launch phrase, it's like entering the URL into a browser and hitting enter to visit that web page. Next, let's talk about utterances. Utterances are what you can say to express an intention or action that you'd like Alexa to help you with. In this example, here are 2 utterances: attack with pocket sand and use pocket sand. Relating this to GUIs, this would be like clicking a button to perform an action on a web page. So utterances can also have slot values, which are input arguments to an intent. In this example, the slot values is pocket sand. This is similar to entering input arguments in an HTML form and submitting it. And finally, intents. An intent is the fulfillment of the user's spoken request. The intent sends data to the backend. This is like a web page making an HTTP request, or using curl to make an HTTP request from the terminal. I like to note that to handle intents, the skill needs a backend that's set up with intent handlers to process and respond to the intents. This is similar to how web servers have routers and route requests to the correct API endpoints. So the next part, we'll be talking about adding style and personality to your voice skill through sound effects and the use of speech synthesis markup language, or SSML. This is very similar to what CSS provides to web pages. And I'll be going over different types of sounds that can be added to your skill.
Oh man.
So here are accented sounds.
Oh man. Oh man.
Here are some animal noises. You can even specify a language for the speech to be in.
Ara. Oh vaya. Oh por Dios.
And there are many more sounds as well. And custom sounds that you could create yourself. For example, I created
Pocket sand.
So to better demonstrate this, I create a skill, one without like sound effects and one with sound effects, based on the dynamic hero skill. So let's go ahead and see that. So here's without sound effects.
You selected Pan. Alright, let's do this. With the following attacks: punch, pinch, tickle, and pocket sand.
Okay, now let's compare that to with sound effects.
You selected Pan.
Alright, let's do this.
With the following attacks: punch, pinch, tickle, and pocket sand.
So notice that there was like a character voice that says, let's do this. And when pocket sand was said, it was said in a higher pitch, like pocket sand. So doing things like that is how you can add personality and style to your voice skill. To summarize, building an Alexa skill is very similar to developing a web application, and they share many similar concepts. As next steps, I would encourage you to check out our beginner cakewalk tutorial linked in the description below. And please let us know if you have any questions. So until next time, happy coding, and see you later.